Every day is going to feel like an eternity if you have already decided this is your last job. And that is absolute misery. You don't want to have to show up every day at work going, God, will this ever end? No, no, no. We're not going to do that. That is not how we choose to live our life. We are going to set goals. And every day is one step closer, one milestone closer to our ultimate goal of leaving our work career into whatever we choose to do next. Are you starting your own side hustles? Are you going to become a consultant? However you plan to live the next chapter of your life, this job right now, your last job working for somebody else, is not part of it. So when this job drains you, gives you that next ulcer that you knew was coming, stop it. It's not worth it. Your goals are going to see you through. Your goals are going to get you to where you want to go. So you can look in your rearview mirror, see this job behind you, and the beautiful sunrises in front of you because you're driving into them. So you have to break the dread. You have to break the misery by focusing on what you want, what you are setting up for yourself, your toll gates, your milestones, your goals. And the big goals, sometimes they seem way off in the distance. Whether you are trying to save the next $10,000, $15,000, or you've got a certain amount in mind that you want to have in your bank account or your retirement accounts before you retire, the big numbers, they seem like a lot of work and effort, and they can become they feel like they're unattainable, but they're not. Every great journey begins with one step, so set yourself micro goals. Most of us have never done this step. Retirement Reality Reset Kit and the Retirement Calculator spreadsheet. You have to know your number before you can make any decisions about your future. You don't want to go to retirement and realize you can't afford it. Let's figure that out now and see what life is going to look like later. For me, it's every time I get paid, I know that I should have X amount of money that I can move into savings. And if you don't do this, if you don't know what your next paycheck is going to and how much you can have left, that's because you're not budgeting. So down in the description, I have Master Your Money Plan, a free workbook, and I have recently launched the Retirement Reality Reset Kit because we need to know exactly when we can jump and we can move into this next experience. So go down there, get the freebies, get the Retirement Reality Reset Kit, and let's work this together. So set yourself your weekly goals. Maybe this week it's to make sure I show up on time and leave time. And maybe it's I make sure I walk after lunch, or if I've got one of those stand-up desks, I'm standing up at least half the days, whatever the goals are. Perhaps there are people in your organization that at one time you shared common conversations and lives with, and your career tracks have taken different avenues while you're there. And there's somebody who you might actually think you'll miss one day. So set a goal. This week, I'm going to look up Betty. I haven't spent time with Betty or Bobby or whomever in the last couple of years. I'd like to reconnect with them before I leave. Not to tell them you're leaving, because we're not doing that, because you're going to do that on your own terms when you're ready. You do not want to be the victim of an early dismissal or an ageism-related layoff, or she's leaving anyway, let's go ahead and eradicate her job and we'll let this, or she's a candidate for or he's a candidate for AI replacement. No, we don't want to do that. We want to still be the valued employee that we've always been, but we know we're working a plan for our ultimate exit. So set yourself micro goals throughout the week, whether it's reconnecting with somebody within the organization you would like to just have one last lunch with, or this week I'm going to pack all my lunches, and what I normally would have saved on lunches, I'm going to go ahead and put in savings. I'm going to put in that cash pile. A goal is a goal. It doesn't matter what it is, but go ahead and decide what your goals are going to be this coming week and write them down, because a written goal, it does something. You see it, you've written it, you'll make it happen. And you want to pick one weekly goal that's going to move you closer to your exit. Maybe you've decided you're not going to leave until you complete the task that you currently have, and maybe it's a 6-month project. Well, then let's start mapping out that project and what you need to complete every week in order to reach the end within that period of time. Maybe your exit is still several years away. That's even more achievable because you now have this long runway to stack up the money, to pay off the debt, to reconnect with the people, to get yourself into the physical condition using your health insurance and your benefits before you go into a self-pay environment, or you hit the magic 65 and you get on Medicare. Use the benefits that they have there now and set yourself those micro goals. So what are you going to do this next week that moves you closer to completing what you have decided you want to complete or want to reach before your exit? Start mapping that out. For me, I tried diligently to save some extra money because for me, my cash fund, my peace fund, is my big milestone of when I have this amount of money, I can bridge the gap comfortably between now and Medicare. I recently turned a wonderful age of 58. So that's what, 7 years between me and Medicare. If I worked until 62, I would have 3 years of expenses, including my own health cost, insurance, payments, etc., to bridge. So that's what my cash fund is. So my personal weekly goals is to save extra money. That can be in the form of not eating out, really doing significant meal planning and doing all that prep at home, buying things on sale, letting that drive the menu, etc. Walk 5 days a week, and again, after meals, making sure I get in X number of minutes. So if it's 15-minute walks, because I don't mind being away from the desk that long, they don't mind it either, but I don't abuse it. And make your goals measurable, not, I'll do better. What does doing better look like? If I missed walking a full 15 minutes, well, then I commit to walking a few more minutes. Or if I missed my weekly goal of how much I wanted to save a month or a week, then next week I say, all right, let's reevaluate this. If I couldn't save $200 this week or $100 this week, next week I'm going to set it at an attainable $75, because it is important that our goals are something we can attain, but they press us to do better week after week, whether it's how much we walk, how much we save, our food prep, how much time we spend with our kids, with our aging parents. That's a big one for me. I like to spend as much time with my mother as possible, because there's going to be one day I'm going to wake up and I'm not going to have that as an available option. Comes for us all. It's a fact of life. Celebrate when you hit your milestones, when you reach those goals. For me, it's a cup of a special tea, possibly some Lily's dark chocolate, whatever your small celebration is. I'm not going to go crazy and spend the money I worked so hard to save. No, I'm not. But I'm also not going to let these accomplishments go by without recognition, even if it's a special self-care night that I can do. Because, nights and evenings, those are my retirement times. Those are my practice times. So doing self-care during those times is a perfect way for me to remember my life is not my job. My job is simply funding my freedom so I can get to the nights and weekends and practice my retirement. So my homework for you is I want you to set 3 goals. 3 goals that you want to accomplish over the next 4 weeks. And then I want you to break them down into achievable weekly activities to get you there. So maybe this month it's, I want to do a budget. What's the first thing you have to do? Well, you have to start writing down your income and your outgo. If you've not actually ever done a formal budget, you don't need anything fancy. You need a notepad and a pen. But I will tell you, down in the description, I've got Master Your Money Plan, which is a free workbook to walk you through how to do a budget. If you want to ramp that up and lay it beside what you anticipate your retirement situation is, and you need to know what your number is for each month, Then Retirement Reality Reset Kit. It's up here somewhere. Go grab that. There's also a corresponding spreadsheet you can treat yourself to. It is a plug and play. It mirrors the workbook. So you just plug those numbers into the spreadsheet and it automatically calculates everything for you. And you can look at the summary page and it's going to tell you what you currently spend, what your retirement anticipation spendage is, where the gap is, and start walking you through how you can do like an expense detox and figure out how you can figure out where the bleeding points are and tighten that up. Each milestone that you strive to accomplish and you accomplish, each weekly goal, there are steps on the way to those milestones, is paving your way to your freedom. So suck it up, put on your big girl panties, go to work. It is not who you are, it is what you do, and it's what is funding your exit. Again, I'm Jenny. I post on Wednesdays and Saturdays. I will see you again soon. Stop recording. Milestones, not misery. We are going to goal hop to our exit.